No, I was just saying I get it. I understand. The walls be calling you, man. I understand. I get it. But you gotta resist, man. You gotta stay strong. You can do it. Okay, go ahead. You can do it. I'm not even gonna cap, y'all. I ain't even gonna cap. Even me and my wife had a rough patch. Yeah, it was rough.
Yep. Yeah, we did.
We started throwing around that D word. and it wasn't even like, I want one. No, it was like, are we headed for... Is that what's happening here? And it wasn't like,
no, God, please, no.
The other person was like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, is this what it feels like? That was the response that we had. Because we were just like, oh my gosh, this is happening to us? Mm-hmm. Shocked.
I run around here jumping and hopping, skipping, diving, falling in love. Falling in love ain't shit. Somebody talk to me, please, about how to stay there.
Welcome
to the J&O Show.
Where we talk about
things that we would never told them, Jay.
And I'm O.
And now you know. What up, y'all? How y'all doing?
We just gonna jump right into today's episode.
Mr. and Mrs. Rivera, I'm glad you're getting a divorce. Mrs. Rivera, I will say this to you. You're foolish. You had a good thing. As soon as it wasn't a perfect thing, it made you angry. Nobody's ever going to be perfect. You most certainly are not perfect. And the next guy you get is not going to be perfect. And unless you're willing to put up with a little bit of, they say for better or for worse for a reason. It's not going to be all lollipops and sunshine. And when it's not lollipops and sunshine for your husband, you at least give him a lollipop. You might not be able to make the sun shine, but you can give him a lollipop, and you didn't do it. You decided that your marriage was about you, for you, and because of you, and when he hit a rough patch, you were like, I'm sick of you. I'm tired of it. You're not a king and wonderful anymore because you're not doing everything I want to. You're no longer Mr. Perfect, and I have no obligation to give anything to you. That's tired and that's sad. And
damn. She said, that's tired and it's sad. Oh, Lord. Woo. Woo. I like her.
I do, too.
She just be...
Shout out to Judge
Lynn Toler. I thought it was a different name.
I thought it was a different name, too. But shout out to her. And prayers out to her as well, too, because she lost her husband not too long ago. Yeah, that can't be easy. As one of our family members in our community says, Kai, I see no lies detected in this clip. Bruh, she gave it raw. And apparently sis needed to hear it.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the thing, like, that needs to be communicated more when people are getting married. Like, when you say the vows, when you speak those vows, when you say for better or for worse, really take it in. Yep. What is worse? You understand what I'm saying? I don't know. Like, people just really need to take that and think about what could the worst case scenario be? And am I going to be okay with that? You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like, life is unpredictable. Nobody knows what's going to happen.
You don't know.
You don't know what's going to happen to your spouse, to you, to a family member. But it's just like, you got to be willing to put in the work.
It's a couple of things. Number one, women were sold a fantasy on what marriage is.
Yes.
By
Disney.
We say Disney, but it wasn't just Disney. It was movies, it was media, it was magazines.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
We just went over a thing talking about
how I can't even say it. Yes.
Cosmopolitan magazine. They was making stuff up and stuff, and
it wasn't just them, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, it was more than them. Women were sold a lie about what life really is, and the thing is, for a lot of women, because of what they saw growing up. They saw the hard times and the bad times that the parents and the grandparents went through, and they were like, I'm not accepting that. But we have to give more grace to our mate. We just shot a video earlier today where I made a comment and I basically said we put way more pressure on our partner than we do any other person in our life.
Yeah.
And in that other comment, I said we believe our partner is responsible for our happiness, but we don't give that responsibility to anybody else in our lives that we love. We don't give it to our mom. We don't give it to our dad. We don't give it to our children. We don't give it to our brothers and our sisters, our cousins, our nieces, our nephews, our aunts, our uncles, our friends. They're not responsible. We'll give them all the grace and not give it to our spouse. Your spouse is not responsible for making you happy. A lot of us also think, because a lot of us are overachievers, we think that our spouses are supposed to fill a void. They're supposed to fill a space. We think that they're the missing piece to our perfect Disney lives. And that is not reality. And the the reason why we've been going back and forth with some of the people in our comments, or some people have commented on some of the things we say regarding divorce and marriage. And the reality is people no longer have the strength of character or look for the strength of character in other people to make good marriages.
Yeah.
We're more worried about what somebody looks like, how much money they make, how much status they have. Like when we say, what is your life going to look like in 20 years when you're thinking about marrying a person? Most of us are concerned about the house we're going to live in, what our cars is going to look like, what type of job they're going to have, what our wardrobe is going to look like, what type of wardrobe can I get my kids? And while all of that stuff has a place, and it is something that you should discuss with your mate, it is not the most important things, because if and when life happens to you and gets in the way of you constructing your Disney fantasy, you are not going to have the strength of character. Your mate is not going to have the strength of character because you didn't make sure that they had it before you married them.
Right.
You're not going to have the strength of character necessary to go through the rough patches. There will be rough patches, whether
Guaranteed.
it's health, whether it's your job, whether it's family. And we are not ensuring that character, both with us and our mate, is up to a certain level where we could survive rough patches. I'm not even gonna cap, y'all. I ain't even gonna cap. Even me and my wife had a rough patch.
Yeah,
it was
we did.
rough.
Yep. Yeah, we did.
We started throwing around that D word. and it wasn't even like, I want one. No, it was like, oh, we headed for, is that what's happening here? And it wasn't like,
No! God, please, no!
the other person was like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, is this what it feels like? That was the response that we had, because we were just like, oh my gosh, this is happening to us? Mm-hmm. Shocked. Because the thing that me and my wife paid a lot of attention to when we were considering marrying each other was how we treated each other. Yep. How did we relate to each other? Could we talk to each other about real stuff?
Yeah.
And everything else was on the back burner. Like, how was our relationship, like, for real, for real? Mm-hmm. Like, not so much just, do I love you? Can I talk to you? Do we laugh? Because a lot of people don't understand how important that is to a marriage too. You gotta be able to laugh, because guess what?
Bruh.
Y'all definitely gonna cry. So you gotta have that other piece in there.
Best believe.
You have to be able to do that. Mm-hmm. When something is going wrong in our relationship, which was hard for us. I'm not even gonna cap. That part was hard for us because it didn't happen enough for us to know exactly what it looked like when we fought and got angry. Because the first couple of years we got married, like, bruh, it was like a fight a year. And it wasn't a knockdown, drag out fight either. It was like a disagreement a year.
You gotta be kidding me.
So it was like, for us, that was hard at first. Mm-hmm. And it got worse. It changed when the kids came. There was a lot more disagreements. I'll tell you that much. Not fights, but disagreements. Oh, Lord. There are things that will bring that out of you.
Yep. Yes.
But even with that, the things that we made sure we had in place when we first got together are the things that took us through those disagreements about how we should be doing things, because we had to explain to each other our thought process. Right. And why we were doing this around the kids, to the kids, for the kids, why we wanted to make sure we did this. And we started to be like, oh, because you were thinking about that. Well, I was all the way over here in the left. Okay, that makes sense then. Like, we had to be able to have the communication with each other just to get through that. Yeah. And a lot of people are getting married and they're still in their selfish place. And because they're in the high of the relationship.
I run around here jumping and hopping, skipping, diving, falling in love. Falling in love ain't. Somebody talk to me, please, about how to stay there. Yep.
They haven't gone through all of the stages. A lot of people get married before they get to the disillusionment stage of marriage. And that's a part of everybody's problem. People are getting married and they're still in infatuation stage.
You confuse me. I love you.
Or they're in commitment stage and they haven't gotten to disillusionment yet. And they don't even allow themselves to get to true love. And that was one thing I know Reverend Minister Kevin Samuels used to always talk about getting married fast. And this is one of the things that I did disagree with him about. I was like, nah, these people out here crazy.
Hell no!
I ain't getting married to nobody fast. I don't know what you're talking about now.
Gotta check them branches.
You gotta check them branches in the back now.
But
Then again, on the other side, biblically, is like, premarital sex is a whole big bag. You know, I know everybody don't believe in Christianity, the Bible, Jesus, and all of that stuff, Jewish religion. But premarital sex, we take it way too lightly.
Yes.
Way too lightly. Like, that is something that we got to look at, because, I mean, you know, single moms is out here and all of them ain't divorced.
Yeah.
Most of them ain't divorced. Most of them is just baby mamas. And it's not because of the baby mamas. It's because of the type of children they raise. I'm sorry, baby mamas, you know, some of y'all could be fine. Some of y'all, you know, some of y'all fine, some of y'all cool, but some of y'all kids is crazy as hell. Like she said a lot. You got to get out of your own way. You can't be selfish. If you're a selfish person, don't get married, bro. You just asking for a lot of drama. Like, it's
you're
not
gonna make somebody else miserable. You're gonna damage them. You're gonna leave them, and then they messed up for the next person. Just stay by yourself.
Everybody is not meant to be married. I'm gonna be honest with you. Everybody's not meant to be married. And I think that's another thing too. A lot of people, I know
that is okay.
And that's another thing in the red pill community. They tell a lot of women that you're not gonna be happy unless you're married and you have children. And that's not everybody.
Yeah, that's not everybody.
That there are some men who are better by themselves, and there are some women who are better by themselves. And I think that that's another thing that we have to keep an eye out for as well. But that is hazardous because, you know, you got to deal with loneliness. Not now, while y'all 30 and 20 and 30 years old. No, we're not talking about now. We're talking about when you're 55, 60 years old. Loneliness is then because all of your friends have kids and grandkids now. And that's when a lot of that, I'm telling you, I've told y'all a million times, we've seen it. It's in the stats and I got to see it up close and it ain't pretty.
Nope.
Listen. I don't know if you have anything else you want to add to that.
No, I was just going to say, I think the friendship aspect is something that's highly underrated. I think that is really important for you to develop a friendship with the person that you plan on spending the rest of your life with. Because Lord willing, you all live to a nice ripe age, you know, y'all 100 years old or whatever the case may be. It's like you want a friend, you want your BFF, you know what I'm saying? Like you want that person, that ride or die that's been with you since your day one, whatever you want to call them, whatever you want to have friendship. So I think that that's the element that definitely is missing nowadays from people's relationships. People who are getting married or people being in long-term relationships, they're missing that friendship aspect because they get in the bed way too fast. So they can't develop that. Because once you introduce...
No, I was just saying I get it. I understand. The walls be calling you, man. I understand. I get it. But you gotta resist, man. You gotta stay strong. You can do it. Okay, go ahead. You can do it.
Yeah, no, but I think that definitely, you know, when you add sex, it changes things.
It does.
So you can't really develop like a true friendship because that's in...
It'll mess everything up.
It'll kind of skew everything. But yeah. But yeah, no, that was pretty thorough. I see no lies detected. Great, short.
Yeah.
But that was it. Comment down below and let us know what you guys think in regards to marriage or long-term committed relationships. What do you think that should entail when it comes to commitment level? Do you think, like what Judge Taylor was saying, that this young lady, she's glad that they're getting divorced because she felt as though everything was about her? Do you think that it should be all about you and all of your needs and what you want and not your partner's? Let us know your thoughts below.
That didn't even sound good when she said it. That was such a setup. Go ahead.
That's what she said, though. Just comment and let us know your thoughts. That's going to be it for today.
Bye, y'all. Peace. That was such a loaded question.
Press the off button.